Hello everyone, today we've got another recycling craft to learn how to do. It's this beautiful planter, it's turned out so well. Now this project will take a few days because it takes a while for the glue to dry, so you need to be a little bit patient. Shall we get started? To make our planter we need to get all of our materials ready. So I've got my can and I've got my sticks. And my first job is to find the straightest part of the stick, measure it against the can, and to either break it off in that spot or to use some old scissors to break it off. I have some old scissors that I use for craft jobs. Don't use Mum's Good scissors. Can you see that fits my can just right? So I need to now break off enough sticks at the right size so that I've got enough to go all the way around my can. Can you see that my collection of sticks are all around about the same size? So my job now is just to keep going until I've got enough to go around the can. Now you might find that some of your sticks are really hard to get them to break in the spots that you want them to. So I'm going to show you a little trick. You grab your scissors, and if I want to break my stick just here, if I get my scissors and I just turn the stick around so that it makes a little cut, when I go like that, it breaks in exactly the place that I want it to break. And it breaks really nice and easily. Now it took me a while, but I've now got my sticks all ready to go, all the same size. That's probably the biggest job. Before we start gluing our sticks on, we're going to stick this leaf all around the can. And the reason that we're doing that is because you're going to be able to see through the sticks. There's going to be little gaps. And we don't want to be seeing tomatoes in a tomato can in between the gaps. So we're going to make it nice and natural and cover up our can with a leaf. So I'm going to start with my glue. You can use PVA glue, or I think a glue stick will actually do the job really nicely and it's a bit easier. Now can you see this moves really nicely? It's not going to crunch and break, so try and find a leaf that's still a bit soft. Wrap it around, stick it down. Now these little extra bits, take your scissors and just cut them away. Now I can still see some of my can there, so I'm going to use the rest of my leaf to cover up those little bits. So I have a brown leaf all the way around. The next part's actually quite tricky, but you can do it. To make it a bit easier to get your sticks on here, this is when you need your rubber bands. Just get the sticks out of the way. Put 2 rubber bands on your can. 1, 2, and they are going to help hold your sticks on there. Now you can put some glue on your can in the part that you're ready to put your sticks. See that? And you just start to slide your stick underneath the rubber band, like this. And try and keep them so that at the bottom they're pushed up nicely, and keep as close together as you possibly can. Can you see that you can actually see through the sticks? That's why it was a good idea to put this leaf on. So I'm going to keep going, gluing and threading my sticks through, and I'll show you when I'm finished that bit. So you keep going and doing your bit, and we'll meet up once we're finished. Now I've managed to put all my sticks all the way around, and hopefully you've managed to do that too. It's a good idea to stand your can up and push it down so that the bottom is all nice and even, so it's not going to stand wobbly. And one thing you probably noticed is that those sticks, there's not enough glue on there to help them to stay. So the next thing you need to do is to add a little bit more glue. You need to do this in stages. So I'm going to put my glue across here and let it just run in between the sticks. You do the same. And it'll go in between the sticks and help it to be a little bit more stable. You need to wait then and let that dry before you try and do the rest of your can. So I'm going to let that dry. When it's dry enough, I'll turn it around and I'll do the same until we've done the entire can. It's looking pretty good though, isn't it? I reckon this is going to look great with a plant in it. Now, this is looking dry enough that it's not going to drip. You can see when I get close that there's still some parts that haven't dried. It's not going to drip. So I'm going to turn it around and put some more glue in a different part. Just spread your glue in this new section that hasn't had glue before, and you could even just rub it in a little bit. And let that dry. And keep doing this until you've managed to get all the way around your can and every portion of sticks has had a second layer of glue. Look here, my glue has all dried. It's taken a few days to dry, but I'm feeling really proud of this project. I'm feeling pretty excited. You can see that I have not taken my rubber bands off yet, but because they're so nice and dry, and you see I can't see any glue, I think I can probably take them off now quite safely without anything falling apart. So let's see how we go. 1, 2, and yeah, look at that. It stayed nice and firm. Make sure you do not take your rubber bands off until your glue is completely dried. Now it has taken 2 or 3 days for this to dry, but how awesome does it look? Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm so excited, is to get ready to put my plant inside. I have my soil here in a container. I have chosen a cutting. I've got a plant here. This particular type of plant grows really, really well when you just break off a piece and stick it in the soil. So that's why I chose this kind. I have a pair of scissors and I'll show you why soon. We're going to start by putting the soil into the pot. Okay, just scooping. actually really quite full. So I'm going to push it down a little bit. That's better. Next I'm going to get my cutting ready. So you can see this plant has no roots. So to help the plant to grow its own roots, first I'm going to cut it on an angle with a pair of scissors. Can you see that? And then I'm going to scrape a little bit down the sides so that helps the plant to have a place where the roots are going to grow. So I'm just going to use my scissors. You can use a knife. Just scrape, kind of like you're using a potato peeler. Okay. I haven't scraped everything, but you can see those little spots. And all I need to do now is just poke it straight in and squish the soil around to make it, help it to stand up. Add a little bit more soil if you need to do that. I do, now that I've added my plant in, and hence a bit more soil because I've squished it down. And remember, there we go, plants are living things. Living things need water. So I've got my water, I'm going to pour it in. Now you don't want to pour in so much that it turns into mud, so just go easy. There we go. It is looking so good, isn't it? I'm really proud of this. And just one last step. Remember I said to have some string or some ribbon. It's totally up to you what you choose. And this is my final pretty touch. Can I just say this would make an awesome Mother's Day present. I need enough ribbon to go all the way around and then make a bow. So I've got a bit of extra there. I'm going to cut. Just tidy the end one, this end up. Okay, and I'm going to tie a bow. Tie it in a knot and tie it in a bow. Nice and tight. There we go, get it sitting just the way I want it. Or maybe not sitting just the way that I want it. And there we go. There is our beautiful stick planter. How great does it look? I can't wait to watch how well this plant grows. Make sure you take photos and show me what your planter looks like. In the meantime, I think I'm going to go and find a nice place for this little plant to sit outside. Okay, so Living Skills is finished. Bye.